It's strange how everything can shift because of one dumb Friday night. We were at our regular spot, a run-down bar where the lighting was dim enough to blur your regrets and the drinks cheap enough to inspire new ones. That place didn't judge. Joy, disaster, betrayal, it all blended into the background noise. Emma, my wife, was wearing my old college hoodie, the same one she always borrowed from my side of the closet. She looked amazing in it, as she always did when she was gearing up to ask for something. I just didn't realize, not until too late, that what she wanted was a way out. It was a performance from the start. Between a lull in the bad jokes and the sloppy toasts, she cleared her throat with this exaggerated flourish. Around the table sat 6 of our so-called friends, half tipsy and grinning, lost in the haze of cheap beer and fake bonding. So, she began, her voice cutting through the air like glass, louder than needed, sharp at the edges. Might as well say it now. The noise around us died instantly. I turned my head, calm on the surface, expression unreadable, just waiting. She shifted in her seat to face me directly, the corners of her mouth curled in a smirk. I slept with someone else. The words didn't even hurt. They didn't sting or burn. They just landed there in the space between us, cold, heavy, flat. I think some part of me had suspected for a while. My instincts knew. My heart had just refused to admit it. And to be honest, she added, as if twisting a knife that hadn't finished sinking in, I needed a real man. Not some IT guy who spends his weekends trying to resurrect that scrap heap you call a car. Then came the laughter. Not mine. Theirs. I looked around at the faces of the people I once thought of as my crew, my ride or dies, and I saw nothing that even resembled surprise or empathy. Only smirks, awkward giggles, and expressions that told me they already knew. Ben, who I used to think of as a brother, actually raised his glass and toasted her. Damn, that's cold. But hey, respect for being real. Maya, who once sobbed on my shoulder for nights after her breakup, just shrugged and mumbled something like, we all kind of saw it coming. Even Chris, who lived rent-free on my couch for a month, shot me this week, uncomfortable look, like he was begging me not to make a scene. So, I didn't. I didn't yell. I didn't ask why. I didn't toss my drink or demand answers. I didn't give her the meltdown she was so clearly hoping for. I just stared at her, really stared, and for the first time, I saw through all of it. The fake confidence. The hollow smirk. The emptiness inside her that she was trying so hard to hide behind that smug grin. This wasn't about love or betrayal, it was about validation. About feeling like she won. And I smiled. Not a bitter smile, not a forced one. A real one. Genuine. Calm. I flipped my keychain into the air, caught it with a faint jingle. All right. That was all I said. I turned around and walked out. Behind me, their laughter swelled as the door swung closed. Their final word. Their mocking applause. But here's the part they'll never understand. What they didn't hear was the quiet click of a new plan locking into place inside my head. I wasn't going to fight for someone who would publicly tear me down. I wasn't going to plead with people who laughed while I burned. I was going to become someone untouchable. Someone she could never reach again. And I was going to build a life they'd only get to watch from the outside, envious, bitter, forgotten. Outside, in the stillness of the night air, memories flooded back. 3 years. That's how long it had been since I first met her in that cramped campus cafe. She had a worn copy of the bell jar in her hands, black nail polish chipped at the edges, and a silver ring wrapped around her thumb. I asked her about the book, and she didn't even blink before answering, only deeply depressed people read this in public. Then she cracked a smile that lit up the whole room. That was it. I was gone. We bonded instantly, deeply, easily. Late-night drives with no particular destination. Private jokes that were nonsense to everyone else. Falling asleep with her curled against my chest in our shoebox apartment, where everything felt safe and right. "You're my calm," she'd whisper. And God help me, I believed her. Those were the golden days. She used to bring me food when I worked late, call me her grounding force when life got too heavy. She'd even hang out in the garage for hours while I tinkered with that beat-up '92 Civic, passing me tools and curating our playlist like we were building something sacred. We weren't flashy. We didn't have much. But we had each other, or at least, I thought we did. When things started shifting, it wasn't obvious. Not at first. Girls' nights turned into, "Don't wait up." She stopped coming into the garage. She rolled her eyes whenever I mentioned my plan to start my own IT consulting business. "You're always chasing things that take forever," she sighed one night. I didn't argue. I told myself she was just overwhelmed. Work stress, burnout, that sort of thing. What I didn't realize was she was already lining up my replacement. His name was Caleb, a bartender with abs for days and the charm of a brick wall. And as for my so-called friends? They drifted toward her like leaves caught in a new current. Ben started spending more time with her than with me. Chris decided to stay out of it, which really just meant he didn't have the spine to pick a side. Maya? She ghosted me completely. I didn't just lose my wife in that bar. I lost my whole world. But standing there in the stillness of the street that night, something shifted inside me. Not rage. Not sadness. Just clarity. They hadn't turned on me because I was weak. They'd turned because I was quiet. And they mistook silence for surrender. That was their mistake. A fatal one. That first night alone in the apartment, mine now, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, replaying every second of that disaster. Her smug grin. Ben's obnoxious laughter. The smug looks from people I once trusted. The next morning, I checked my phone. Not a single apology. Just one lazy group text from Chris. "Hey man. No hard feelings, right? Let's keep it mature." Mature. Right. I cut the cord. Shut down every social account. Blocked every number. Wiped every photo and video from my devices. Her contact? Gone. But the memory? I kept that. I needed it. It became my fuel. I started small. Reached out to an old professor who once told me I had the makings of a CEO. Enrolled in night classes to earn advanced cybersecurity credentials. Set my alarm for 5 a.m. every day and hit the pavement, running until my lungs burned and my legs threatened to give out. Worked 12-hour days. Then 14. Took every freelance opportunity that came my way, repairing networks, consulting for startups, offering solutions to small businesses. I said yes to everything. While they were out drinking and curating their meaningless digital lives, I was grinding. Alone. In the dark. Building. I wasn't trying to get revenge. I was becoming someone they wouldn't recognize. Emma didn't reach out. Not once. She was too busy posting dreamy, soft-filtered photos of her and Caleb, accompanied by cringeworthy captions like, "Love always wins. Cute. Let's see how long love lasts when the novelty wears off, and the man you discarded has moved so far ahead you can't even see his dust trail." My work took off. One freelance job led to a retainer, which turned into a referral, which snowballed into a major contract. Before long, I filed for my own LLC. In a matter of months, I was earning more than I ever had in a full year. The best kind of progress? The kind no one expects. Physically, I changed too. Lost 20 pounds. Started lifting heavy. Got a real haircut. Bought clothes that fit, not to show off, but because I finally felt worth the investment. I didn't brag about any of it. But word got out anyway. I started appearing in tagged photos at client launches, startup mixers, industry events. And through the spiderweb of mutual contacts and social media, whispers of my success began filtering back. At first, the messages came in slowly. Then they poured in. Maya, hey stranger. You look incredible. Hope life's treating you well. Ben, yo. Heard you launched your own thing. That's insane. Much respect. Chris, bro, your company's name came up in a client call. You killing it or what? I read every message. Then deleted them all. No replies. They didn't just lose me. They buried me. I just made sure the man they buried never came back. Then came the first crack in Emma's new life. Her Instagram updates slowed down. Then disappeared. 2 months of radio silence. Finally, a blurry story popped up from a mutual friend's birthday. In the background, barely visible, sat Emma. Alone. No Caleb. No glow. Just a tired woman on the edge of a party she used to own. I didn't smile. Didn't feel vindicated. I just felt nothing. Like turning the final page of a book you were once obsessed with. Then one Sunday morning, completely normal in every way, my phone lit up like a fire alarm. Call after call. 32 in 2 hours. Emma. Ben. Even Maya. The texts came fast. Emma, I know I'm the last person you want to hear from. But please, can we talk? Emma, everything fell apart. I just need 5 minutes. Emma, I messed up so badly. You didn't deserve what happened. I get that now. Then Ben followed. Ben, man, seriously? I was wrong. We all were. Ben, she told us things. Said you didn't treat her right. We believed her. We didn't know the truth. It's always the same script. No one ever knows the real story until they're cut out of it. Then came the essay from Emma. Emma, I thought I wanted someone exciting. What I got was a fraud. Caleb cheated. He's broke. And now so am I. I miss you. I miss our life. You were the best thing that ever happened to me, and I threw it away for nothing. Please talk to me. Please. I stared at her last message for a while. Watched the little typing bubble appear, then vanish. But it wasn't the begging that stuck with me. It was one line that hit deeper than the rest. I miss who I was when I was with you. And there it was. The whole tragedy in one sentence. She hadn't just lost me. She'd lost the version of herself that only existed because I believed in her. And that version was gone. I typed out my reply, steady and clear. No rage. No theatrics. Just truth. Me, you didn't just pick someone else, Emma. You made a spectacle of it. You chose to humiliate me, and our friends cheered you on. When I walked out of that bar, I wasn't just leaving a relationship. I was leaving the person who decided I would never be enough. Me, I'm not angry. I'm not bitter. I'm just done. Take care of yourself. Then I blocked her number. For good. Set my phone face down on the table and never looked back. Because real revenge? It's not about hurting someone else. It's becoming so unshakably complete that the people who tried to break you can't even find the cracks anymore. And while they spiral in regret, you sleep peacefully because sometimes victory isn't loud. Sometimes it's just the silence of knowing you never needed to scream to win.